All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2021 passed by Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha to take up the bill today. Lok Sabha to take up National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Bill 2021 for consideration and passage today. Filing of nominations for fourth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal to end this evening. Notification for fifth phase to be issued today. Ruling BJP sweeps local body elections in Goa. Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanks people for their continuous support to the party. Former Mumbai Police Commissioner moves Supreme Court seeking CBI probe against Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. Centre asks states and union territories to increase gap between two doses of Covishield vaccine to between 4 and 8 weeks. All schools from class 1 to 8 closed in Uttar Pradesh from 24th to 31st of March amid rising corona cases. Chandigarh administration closes schools and colleges till 31st of this month. India and Pakistan to hold meeting of Permanent Indus Commission in New Delhi today. US, European Union, Britain and Canada impose sanctions on Chinese officials for human rights violations against Uyghur Muslims. National Film Awards 2019 announced. Malayalam movie Marakar Arabigala Inde Simham bags Best Feature Film Award. Manoj Bajpayee and Dhanush to share the award for Best Actor. Kangana Ranaut wins Best Actress Award. And in cricket, first ODI between India and England to be played in Pune this afternoon. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Lok Sabha has passed the National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2021. The bill amends the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Act 1991, which provides a framework for the functioning of the Legislative Assembly and the Government of the National Capital Territory of Delhi. The bill amends certain powers and responsibilities of the Legislative Assembly and the Lieutenant Governor. It further seeks to ensure that the Lieutenant Governor is necessarily granted an opportunity to exercise the power in select category of cases in emergency. The bill also gives powers to LG to make rules in matters which fall outside the purview of the Delhi Legislative Assembly. It has a provision that all executive action will be expressed to be taken in the name of the Lieutenant Governor. Replying to the discussion, Minister of State for Home G. Kishan Reddy said the bill aims at promoting harmonious relations between the legislature and the executive in the national capital. He said it was a technical necessity as the Supreme Court, High Court and other forums were discussing the ambiguity at different times and issuing the orders on the NCT Act 1991. Therefore, the minister said, it is the responsibility of Parliament to clear confusion and the ambiguity. Rajya Sabha is scheduled to take up the National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2021 today. The bill was passed by the Lok Sabha yesterday. Minister of State for Home G. Kishan Reddy will move the bill for consideration and passing. In Lok Sabha business schedule, the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Bill 2021 is listed for consideration and passing. The bill seeks to establish the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. Its objective is to support the development of long-term, non-recourse infrastructure financing in India, including development of the bonds and derivatives market.
Government has said that more than 57,000 lakh rupees have been disbursed under Atal Pension Yojana till February this year. Minister of State for Finance and Corporate Affairs Anurag Singh Thakur said this in a written reply to a question in Lok Sabha. He said the Atal Pension Yojana is a government scheme launched on the 9th of May 2015 and became operational with effect from the 1st of June 2015. It is open to all citizens of India between 18 to 40 years of age having a savings bank account in a bank or post office. Filing of nominations for the fourth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal will end today. 44 constituencies spread over 5 districts will go to polls in this phase on the 10th of April. Notification for the fifth phase of assembly elections will also be issued today. Meanwhile, the electioneering campaign for the first and second phase of assembly elections is in full swing. Union Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah and National President of the party JP Nadda are scheduled to take part in political rallies and roadshows in the state today. Mr. Shah will be addressing a public meeting at Sabha and attend a roadshow at Medinipur, while Mr. Nadda is expected to take part in a roadshow at Ghatal. Trinamool Congress leader, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, is scheduled to start her campaign in Purulia district today, as she will hold meetings at 3 assembly constituencies, Para, Kashipur and Raghunathpur. Sanyukt Morcha leaders are holding meetings and rallies throughout different districts in the state. Meanwhile, a report has been sent to the ECI regarding the death of a 7-year-old boy at Rasikpur of Burdwan district in a crude bomb blast yesterday. Opposition parties criticized the ruling party, alleging a breakdown of law and order situation in the poll-bound state.
In Assam, Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal will seek re-election to Majuli seat. The Majuli constituency is witnessing a peak of campaigning, which is known as one of the most sought-after tourist destinations of Northeast. Polling will be held on the 27th of this month in Majuli. Home Minister Amit Shah campaigning at Majuli, seeking votes for Mr. Sonowal. A report from our Guwahati correspondent.
In 2016, Sarbananda Sonowal defeated his nearest rival, Rajiv Lochhan Pegu, a former Congress minister, by the margin of 19,000 votes. This time also, Congress has fielded Mr. Pegu against the Chief Minister. Along with them, there are 3 more candidates vying at Majuli. Majuli, which is known as the center of Neo-Vaishnavite culture in Assam, has been declared as a district by the Sonowal government after coming to power. Apart from the BJP, the Congress and other candidates are also holding rallies, door-to-door visits to attract the 130,000 voters. Connectivity, flood and land erosion are some of the issues that the voters want to be resolved in the coming days. Manas Pratim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
In Kerala, as assembly election nears, election preparations are in full swing. A total of 957 candidates are contesting in 140 constituencies in the upcoming assembly polls in the state. The picture became clear with the closure of withdrawal of nomination yesterday. More from our Thiruvananthapuram correspondent.
Over 2.74 crore voters are there in the state. 7.39 lakh new voters are there this time. Chief Electoral Officer Tikaram Meena informed that thousands of bogus voters are identified in the voters list and detailed investigation will be done to curb the same. Meanwhile, citizens can inform any kind of violation of Model Code of Conduct through the C-Vigil Citizen app and participate in fair election process. As the state is going to polls in 2 weeks on April 6, campaigns of Major Front is entering the next phase as more national leaders are visiting the state. Union Minister Amit Shah will reach today. Rahul Gandhi is in Kerala campaigning for UDF. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
Ruling BJP has swept the local body elections in Goa. In Panagia Corporation, the party has won 25 of 30 wards. BJP has also won many wards in other councils. Polling for 6 municipal councils, 30 wards of Corporation City of Panagia, a Zilla Panchayat and 22 panchayats took place on Saturday. The 6 civic bodies that went to polls last Saturday are Kankon, Kurchorem Karkora, Bicholim, Kankolim, Valpoi and Pednem. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has thanked the people of Goa for the continuous support of the BJP. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said the results of the municipal elections 2021 in the state shows the people's appreciation towards the party's development agenda. He lauded all hard-working BJP workers who went among people and worked hard during the campaign.
The centre has written to states and union territories to increase the interval between 2 doses of Covishield to 4 to 8 weeks, based on recommendation of National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization, NTAGI, and National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19, NEGVAC. This decision of revised time interval between 2 doses is applicable only to Covishield and not to Covaxin vaccine. In view of the emerging scientific evidence, the interval between 2 doses of a specific COVID-19 vaccine, Covishield, has been revisited by NTAGI and subsequently by NEGVAC in its 20th meeting. Dr. Rakesh Garg of AIIMS, New Delhi, has said that 4 to 8 week gap between two doses of Covishield will boost its effectiveness.
4 से 8 वीक का जो अभी चेंज किया गया, जो कि पहले 4 से 6 वीक था, तो उसमें जो चेंज किया है वो अभी हमारे पास प्रेजेंट डेटा के हिसाब से है। तो उसमें जो एंटीबॉडी रिस्पांस है, जो हम बोलते हैं कि वैक्सीन का असर आ गया, जिसको आप साइंटिफिक लैंग्वेज में बोले कि बॉडी के अंदर एंटीबॉडी रिस्पांस अच्छे बन गए, एंटीबॉडीज बन गए हैं, तो वो तकरीबन 4 से 8 हफ्ते के बीच में अगर ये सेकेंड डोज दिया जाए तो उसके रिजल्ट बेहतर पाएंगे और इसके हिसाब से इसको चेंज किया गया।
The cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 4 crore 72 lakh. These include over 78 lakh healthcare workers who have taken the first dose and over 49 lakh healthcare workers who have taken the second dose. Over 81 lakh frontline workers have taken the first dose and around 28 lakh frontline workers have also taken the second dose. The Health Ministry said more than 1 crore 94 lakh beneficiaries aged more than 60 years and over 40 lakh 72,000 beneficiaries aged more than 45 years with specific comorbidities were vaccinated till date. The ministry said more than 19 lakh 65,000 vaccine doses were given till 7 p.m. yesterday.
Chandigarh administration has ordered massive restrictions including ban on holy millen gatherings, closure of schools and colleges till March 31st in the area of the Union Territory due to rising cases of COVID-19. More from our Chandigarh correspondent. Uttar Pradesh government has decided that all schools from class 1 to 8 in the state will remain closed from 24 to 31st March. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath reviewed the COVID scenario in the state with senior ministers and other officials yesterday. States is witnessing a surge in the number of new COVID cases. Therefore, the government is taking measures to control the spread of the infection. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
The schools from class 1 to 8 will remain closed on account of Holi festival. Those schools where exams are not being conducted will be closed from 25th March to 31st March. A strict COVID protocol will be followed at those schools where examinations are going on. Chief Minister ordered that no public function can be organized and no procession can be carried out without the prior permission of administration. He also directed to depute dedicated nodal officer at ward level in urban areas and village panchayat level at rural areas to monitor the COVID situation. These measures are being taken in the wake of growing cases as well as the fear of a spread of infection due to gathering of people in festivals, panchayat elections and from those who are coming from other states. First time after 16th January, more than 500 new COVID patients were found in the state yesterday. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Gujarat has recorded 1,640 new cases of COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. According to the State Health Department, the maximum new cases have been reported from Ahmedabad and Surat. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Out of 1,640 new cases reported from Gujarat yesterday, 481 cases recorded in Ahmedabad, while Surat registered 429 new cases. Meanwhile, 1,110 patients have been recovered during the last 24 hours. The number of total patients recovered from COVID-19 in Gujarat has gone up to 2,76,348. More than 32,74,000 persons have been vaccinated for the first dose, while more than 6,03,000 persons have been vaccinated for the second dose. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Tamil Nadu government has ordered all colleges, universities and deemed universities to conduct only online classes from today due to rising COVID-19 cases. An order issued by Chief Secretary Rajiv Ranjan said colleges should complete all practical classes and exams before 31st of this month. The colleges have been asked to conduct an end semester exams only in online mode. The colleges were reopened for all classes on February the 8th this year.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2021 passed by Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha to take up the bill today. Lok Sabha to take up National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Bill 2021 for consideration and passage today. Filing of nominations for fourth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal to end this evening. Notification for fifth phase to be issued today. Ruling BJP sweeps local body elections in Goa. Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanks people for their continuous support to the party. Former Mumbai Police Commissioner moves Supreme Court seeking CBI probe against Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. Centre asks states and union territories to increase gap between 2 doses of Covishield vaccine to between 4 and 8 weeks. All schools from class 1 to 8 closed in Uttar Pradesh from 24th to 31st March amid rising corona cases. Chandigarh administration closes schools and colleges till the 31st of this month. India and Pakistan to hold meeting of Permanent Indus Commission in New Delhi today. US, European Union, Britain and Canada impose sanctions on Chinese officials for human rights violations against Uyghur Muslims. National Film Awards 2019 announced. Malayalam film Marakar Arabikalinde Simham wins Best Feature Film Award. Manoj Bajpayee and Dhanush to share the award for the Best Actor. Kangana Ranaut wins Best Actress Award. And in cricket, the first ODI between India and England to be played in Pune this afternoon. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh has moved the Supreme Court seeking a CBI investigation into alleged corrupt malpractices of Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. He also filed a petition before the Apex Court about his transfer to Home Guard Department. Singh alleged in his writ petition that another IPS officer, Rashmi Shukla, was shunted out when she pointed out the alleged malpractices of Deshmukh in postings to Additional Chief Secretary and DGP Maharashtra based on telephonic interception. The petition says that Shukla was shunted rather than taking any firm action against Deshmukh. Parambir Singh has also alleged in his writ petition that he was being pressurized by the State Home Minister to probe the role of certain leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party and somehow implicate them in the death of MP Mohan Delkar and give the entire episode a political angle. Singh has sought a stay on his transfer from the post of Mumbai Police Chief. Earlier today, Singh assumed office as DG Home Guard in South Mumbai. Road Transport and Highways Ministry has said that the construction of national highways has touched 34 kilometers per day. The ministry said it has achieved another milestone by constructing over 12,205 kilometers of national highways in the current financial year till 22nd of March. This is almost 3 times the rate of construction of highways of about 12 kilometers per day in 2014-15.
Government has said that more than 1 crore paddy farmers have been benefited from the current Kharif marketing season procurement operations with the minimum support price value of over 1,29,000 crore rupees. Agriculture Ministry said the government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes. The ministry said more than 685 lakh tons of paddy have been procured from various states. This is an increase of 13.51% against the last year corresponding purchase of around 603 lakh tons. Madhya Pradesh is launching a statewide Sankalp or resolution campaign from today for a week to create awareness on COVID-appropriate behavior. State continues to register high COVID positivity rate. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Sirens will be played at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. in the state. The public will stop at their place and take a 2-minute resolution for the use of mask and maintaining social distancing. Meanwhile, Madhya Pradesh on Monday recorded 1,342 COVID-positive cases, while 754 patients recovered from infection. Indore and Bhopal continues to report highest number of COVID cases. The active case load in both 2 cities is more than 2,000. Out of the total cases of COVID in the state, about half of the cases are from these 2 cities. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Newly created Ladakh Union Territory and Tamil Nadu have been paired in the Ek Bharat, Shreshtha Bharat program. Tamil Nadu is in south while Ladakh is in the north of the country, yet both share strong connection with each other through Buddhism. Our Leh correspondent has filed this report.
According to Buddhist scholar based in Leh, Dr. Sonam Wangchuk, statues, scroll painting, and painting of many Buddhist scholars of Kanchipuram of Tamil Nadu are found on the walls of almost every monastery of Ladakh. Kanchipuram was one of the important learning centers of Buddhism, and it is the place where 3 scholars of 8 famous scholars of Nalanda University were born. One of the scholars, namely Arya Nagarjuna, known as Arya Deva, spent life in Kanchipuram. Famous scholar of Nalanda University, Dignaga, and his disciple Dharmakirti, born in Kanchipuram. Siddhar Nagarjuna was also born in Kanchipuram. Also, Guru Padmasambhava, who is known and well revered in Ladakh, is believed to visit and spend 12 years in Kanchipuram. Let's hear on this more from Dr. Sonam Wangchuk.
A very famous Buddhist scholar called Taranatha, he reported that Padmasambhava also visited Kanchipuram and he spent there 12 years and turned the wheel of Vajrayana Buddhism in Kanchipuram. And even he reported that even in like 16th, 17th century, he still found that there are people who are still following Guru Padmasambhava.
The footprint of visit of Guru Padmasambhava in Ladakh are common in Ladakh in the form of meditational caves. Yangchan Dolma for Air News from Leh, Ladakh.
India and Pakistan will today hold meeting of the Permanent Indus Commission that deals with water rights on the Indus River in New Delhi. The Permanent Indus Commission was set up under the Indus Waters Treaty of 1960. The Indian side will be led by the Indian Commissioner for Indus Waters, Pradeep Kumar Saxena. The Pakistan side will be led by Syed Mohammad Meher Ali Shah during the 2-day talks. The Indus Water Treaty warrants the 2 commissioners to meet at least once a year. Last year's meeting was scheduled to be held in March in New Delhi and was cancelled in view of the coronavirus pandemic. The last meeting took place in Lahore in August 2018. In a coordinated effort, US, European Union, Britain and Canada have imposed sanctions on Chinese officials for human rights abuses in Xinjiang. In a statement ahead of meetings with EU and NATO ministers in Brussels this week, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said, amid growing international condemnation, China continues to commit genocide and crimes against humanity in Xinjiang. Canada's Foreign Ministry said mounting evidence points to systemic state-led human rights violations by Chinese authorities. The European Union was the first to impose sanctions yesterday on 4 Chinese officials, including a top security director and 1 entity, a decision that was mirrored by Britain and Canada later in the day.
As a part of our special series on the 50th anniversary of the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War, we bring you an exclusive interview with Liberation War fighter, retired Lieutenant Colonel Sajjad Zahir. Lieutenant Colonel Qazi Sajjad Ali Zahir joined the Pakistani army, but upon hearing of the atrocities committed by Pakistan army in Bangladesh, he fled the country and reached India. Speaking with AIR News, Lieutenant Colonel Sajjad Zahir shares about the common sacrifice of Indian forces and Mukti Bahini in the 1971 war.
While escaping from Pakistan, I thought and I knew also that Indian government, Indian people are helping us so much. Indian government is helping in sheltering our refugees, maybe millions of them. I didn't know the number at that time. Also helping in training the Mukti Bahini, attending to our sick and wounded, attending to the victims of genocide. And the common people of India rose to help the Bengali population.
Lieutenant Colonel Qazi Sajjad Ali Zahir has been awarded Padma Shri for the year 2021 for his contribution in the field of public affairs.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Zavadekar has congratulated all the winners of the 67th National Film Awards 2019. The awards were announced yesterday by the chairman of the Feature Films Jury, N. Chandra, in New Delhi. Mr. Zavadekar congratulated actor Manoj Bajpayee, who bagged the Best Actor Award for Hindi movie Bhonsle, and Dhanush for Tamil movie Asuran. The minister also congratulated Kangana Ranaut for Best Actress Award for Manakarnika, The Queen of Jhansi and Panga. Malayalam movie Marakkar Arabikalinde Simham, directed by Priyadarshan, will be awarded the Best Feature Film Award. Sanjay Puran Singh Chauhan will be given Best Direction Award for Hindi film Bahatar Hure. The nation paid tributes to freedom fighters Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev on their martyrdom day today. On this day in 1931, British rulers had executed them in Lahore for their revolutionary activities against the empire. They were hanged a day before the scheduled date of execution. Mr. Narendra Modi paid tributes to Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru on the occasion of Shahid Divas. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, "The sacrifice of these great sons of Ma Bharati will remain an inspiration for every generation."
Former Additional Director General of All India Radio News, Vivekananda Roy, passed away in Nadia, West Bengal. He breathed his last at his residence in Kalyani yesterday evening. He was 81. India will take on England in the first of the three-match one-day international series in Pune today. The match will begin at 1:30 p.m. IST. Indian team's confidence is soaring high after a resounding T20 series win, and it would look to win the ODI series as well, while the bruised England will look to bounce back after facing defeats in the Test as well as T20 series.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Covishield second shot after 6 to 8 week gap. Government revises guidelines. COVID daily cases surge to 46,951. 888 in Delhi, reports the Asian Age. Parliament passes Insurance Amendment Bill. FDI cap now hiked to 74%, reports the Statesman on its front page. Delhi reduces age bar in major liquor reform is the headline in the Hindustan Times. The Indian Express notes, Delhi rewrites liquor policy, cuts legal drinking age from 25 to 21. Government to exit liquor business, writes the Times of India. And finally, Dhanush, Manoj Bajpayee, Kangana bag top honours at the 67th National Film Awards is one of the top headlines in The Hindu.
We also take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain with a maximum temperature of nearly 8 degrees Celsius, rising from a minimum of 6 degrees. Jammu is expected to witness generally cloudy sky with moderate rain, having a maximum temperature of around 20 degrees. The minimum was just 15 degrees. Leh will see a maximum temperature of around 11 degrees Celsius and had -2 degrees as a minimum temperature in the morning. The city may witness light snow. Gilgit may witness rain or snow. The temperature will hover between 6 and 18 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The maximum temperature will be around 15 degrees while the minimum was 9 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2021 passed by Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha to take up the bill today. Lok Sabha to take up National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Bill 2021 for consideration and passage today. Filing of nominations for fourth phase of Assembly elections in West Bengal to end this evening. Notification for fifth phase to be issued today. Ruling BJP sweeps local body elections in Goa. Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanks people for their continuous support to the party. Former Mumbai Police Commissioner moves Supreme Court seeking CBI probe against Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. Centre asks states and union territories to increase gap between 2 doses of Covishield vaccine to between 4 and 8 weeks. All schools from class 1 to 8 closed in Uttar Pradesh from 24th to 31st of March amid rising corona cases. Chandigarh administration closes schools and colleges till 31st of this month. India and Pakistan to hold meeting of Permanent Indus Commission in New Delhi today. US, European Union, Britain and Canada impose sanctions on Chinese officials for human rights violations against Uyghur Muslims. National Film Awards 2019 announced. Malayalam movie Marakar Arivigala Indai Simham backs Best Feature Film Award. Manoj Bajpayee and Dhanush to share the award for Best Actor. Kangana Ranaut wins Best Actress Award. And in cricket, first ODI between India and England to be played in Pune this afternoon. And with that, we end this morning news. Have a nice day.